can put in our ME interfaces in between. There, and one there. Okay, those lit up. That looks good. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regrowth Reloaded. Okay, as you can see, I've done a little bit of work in here. I've added some more storage drawers in. I've made some lighting from Decocraft to remove the glowstone out of the floor. It just wasn't lining up properly, and I didn't want to drive people crazy with that. I also put in this wall here. This is stone bricks that have been chiseled. Because I'm just going to essentially run this around like this, and I'm going to put as many storage drawers as I can in here, and with our ME system in the center of this. Now, today I want to get into a bit of the Autocrafting. So there's a few things that we're going to need to do, and I've got a list of stuff to take care of, and there's quite a bit to do. So let's start off with I want to make a wrench. We want the Certus Quartz Wrench, and this is kind of used like the configurator. You just use it to turn things around and whatnot. So we got that done, and then I want to work on some dense cables. Now I've already made a whole bunch of them, but I'm just going to show you the recipe for it, and we'll make one together. So we got dense cables right here. And these are ME covered cables with redstone and glowstone. Now the covered cable is the glass cable with a piece of wool. So let me just go ahead and I'm going to make 4 of, now I should have some wool in the system. Do I or do I not? Probably not. So let's do that real quick. Wool. We have the string recipe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll just toss that back in there. And then we want the the covered cables. Like that. So go ahead and grab those. We got our 4 there. And then we're going to turn those into dense cables. Dense cable, which is not that one. That's, if you want to color code them, you can. So I'm just going to do that, and that will make 1 dense cable. Alright, I've already actually made quite a few of those, and what I've done is they are under the floor here. Let me just kind of see if I can dig this up real quick. And you can see there's our controller, and these are the dense cables. I've got a line that goes across over this way, one that goes this way, and one that goes straight back, so that we can tie into our network. Now the dense cables will hold 32 channels per cable, versus the the other cables, which are 8 channels per cable. So we're going to need those just to make our network a little bit bigger and stronger. So what we need to do in order to do Autocrafting is we need to have some type of a crafting computer, CoProcessing unit, that type of thing, crafting monitor, crafting storage, things like that. So let's start with that. Now I was looking at a website on how to do this. So if I remember, I'll put a link in the description to that website so that you can get an idea of this. So what I need is a CoProcessing unit. I'm actually going to need 2 to 3 of them. So let's just take a look in here. CoProcessing units. And that is a crafting unit with a engineering processor. So the crafting unit is 4 iron ingots, 2 calculation processors, a logic processor, and 2 ME glass cables. So I'm going to make that real quick. Come back in here. Let me actually toss this up in here so we have it. Then I can shift click on that, and that gives us a crafting coprocessor. Now I should have that in there. Yeah, I've got made 2 of them already. And then the next thing we need is the crafting monitor. So let's take a look at that crafting monitor. And that is a crafting unit with an ME storage monitor. Now we had extra ME storage monitors from what we had built previously. So let's go back in here. Let's make another one of these. Come back in here. Okay, what happened to my ME storage? Wait, was that was a storage monitor? Okay, so that was a bright illuminated monitor and a level emitter. So let's click on the level emitter. That is a calculation processor and a redstone torch. Let's go ahead and make that, toss that in there. Come back in here, crafting. So we want the storage monitor. Click on that, toss that up in there. And then finally we can craft this. And there we go. Now we've got our crafting monitor. Let's go ahead and put that in here. Next we need 4 1K storage. I've made 3 of them. So let's go ahead and come back in here, and we need 1K storage, crafting storage. So I'm going to make 1 more of these, and this is a 1K ME storage component and a crafting unit. So we need to make this piece first, which we've done in the past. Okay. Come back in here. We can make another one of those. Toss that in there, and then we should be able to come in here and craft that. So now we've got our 4 1K crafting storage blocks. All right, so do I have everything? 3, 8, and 2 to 3 coprocessing units. Got 3 of those. 4. I'm going to make 1 more of these 1K crafting storage. The reason for that is you'll see here in a moment that we're going to be building a multi-block thing that needs to be in a cuboid shape. So it'd be a 3 by 3. So I need a total of 9 for the area that I've got picked out on this, and I've only got 8 items here. So we'll just go ahead and come back in here. Let's go ahead and craft a 5th one of these. If I can. Not in there. I need to do it in here. 1K crafting storage. Get that. Another one of those. And just craft that like that. Alright, so let me go ahead and grab this stuff real quick. And let's run over here on this side. Now I've got an area set up here where that cable, the dense cable, comes down and around and back over here, and it comes up at this point. And I've got this area over here where we're going to be putting in our other stuff. So this is where our co-processing thing is going to go in at. So let me see. I want my monitor in the middle, and let's go ahead and put down the 3 co-processing units here. I'm going to put the crafting monitor in the middle, and then I'm going to put the other 5 around the outside. And there we go. We have our coprocessing unit. And what this does is this will let us actually do all the different autocrafts, and the monitor in the middle will show the item that it's currently crafting. The storage is necessary to, you'll see when we get into bigger crafts, it requires more memory in order for it to be able to process those crafts that we are doing. And then the coprocessing units help that out too. So let's head back over to the other side. And let's take a look at the next piece that we need. And we're going to be needing 8 ME interfaces, which I made 12 of them. I'm going to try something. And then I need 8 molecular assemblers, but I made 12 of them. Now we know how to make the ME interface. Let me show you the molecular assembler. And that is the 4 iron ingots, 2 quartz glass, a crafting table, and a formation core and an annihilation core. We have made all of these things in the past. I don't need to make any more of these. Now let me go ahead and grab this, and I hope this is going to work for me. So let's take a look. And what I want to do is I kind of want to offset these things like this. I want these two there, these two there. Let's see if we can put in our ME interfaces in between. There, and one there. Okay, those lit up. That looks good. All right. So now I want to do another row opposite. So what we want is these ME interfaces to be touching at least 3 different molecular assemblers. So let's go ahead and put that down, that down, that down, that down. This. This. Come on. There and there. Now, I'm hoping this hasn't, I think it only uses 1 channel. Let me get a block of some sort. Garden soil is fine, and I'm going to do the same thing with 1 more layer. Let's see if these lights go out, then we got too many items on our network here, or that particular leg of it. So I'm still a noob at this, so let's try that and that. So it looks like everything is good. So we now have 12 ME interfaces with 12 molecular assemblers in here. We have our coprocessing unit, which we can build up even more. We can extend it back further. As long as it remains in a cuboid shape, we're good. So we can add more storage or more coprocessor units if we need to, but we don't really need to do that. Oh, and these here, these are those factory blocks that we got out of that second map that we did. Remember the crypt thing that we visited? I just used the chisel on them and put them to their default to make them look like that. I thought they would kind of look nice in there. So I have got another YouTube video that I've been watching this guy on how to do applied energistics and the different things, and he's got a really good video on how to automate the inscribers. I am going to follow that that video, and I'm going to do these offline just to get them set up, because I really don't understand all that stuff. So rather than bore you to death with that, I'm just going to do that, put it up, and I'll give you a link to his channel, the entire AE series that he has going on this, and there's lots of cool stuff in there. He's also got a video on how to automate the whole pure quartz, Certus quartz, and so on and so forth with this thing here on how to automate that. All right, so next thing we need to make a pattern terminal. So let's take a look in here. Let me go ahead and actually toss that back. We don't need it. Let's take a look at a pattern terminal. All right, so the pattern terminal is a ME crafting terminal with an engineering processor. So we've made these in the past. Let's make it our ME terminal. I made a bunch of these formation and annihilation cores too, because they're used in everything. So let's go ahead and make that. We need this one here, so let's go ahead and make that, toss it in there, and then we're going to go ahead and make this, and now we have our pattern terminal. All right, so I need some cable here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab a piece of that. I'm probably going to need 2 of them. I'm going to put one here and one here, because we're going to be making 2 terminals. So we're going to go ahead and take our pattern terminal, and let's go ahead and put that there. All right, and that way, you know, we can come in here and we can create patterns and put them in the system. We'll do that here in a little bit. So the next thing we want is an ME interface terminal. Let's take a look at that ME interface terminal right there, and that is a bright illuminated panel, a ME interface, and an engineering processor. Now I'm out of those, so let me go ahead and make that real quick, toss them in there, and then we're going to make the ME interface, toss that in there, and then we should just have everything to do that. Let's go ahead and grab that, and we have our ME interface terminal. Let's go ahead and put that there. Now this will show all the different molecular assemblers, or actually all the interfaces that we have that are attached to our molecular assemblers, so that we can put our patterns in here instead of having to run over there and do it manually. So we need to make some blank patterns. So let's take a look real quick. Blank patterns. All right, and that is our blank pattern, and it is 3 iron ingots, 3 glowstone. Is that Certus quartz or charged Certus quartz, and 2 quartz glass. Let's go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to grab well, I got 57 of them. Oh, looks like I'm out of iron. Am I out of iron? Really? Yep, I'm out of iron. I'm going to have to make up a bunch more. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to stack these in here for the time being. All right, let me get some iron started, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment. All right, so since we ran out of iron, let's go ahead and do the crafting pattern for that. So let's take a look here, and this is how this works. You can do either crafting patterns or processing patterns. Processing patterns are things where you kind of have to use other machines to do it. The crafting patterns are done using the molecular assembler, which we can do here because we need to do it this way. So let's go ahead and essence of iron. around in a circle like this makes 8 iron ore. So we can go ahead and hit this to encode that pattern, and there we go. Let's clear that out. Let's see, what are some other ones? Let's do diamonds. Diamonds. Okay. 8 diamonds like that. We'll make 1 diamond. Let's go ahead and encode that pattern. Emeralds. Eight emerald essence around like that makes 1 emerald. And you get the idea. So let's see something a little more interesting here would be, let's do pistons. Okay, so a piston, let's clear this out, and we can do this. I think and come in here. Okay, and that puts that in there. We don't have any iron at the moment, so no, we can't do that one yet. I have to have something in the system in order to make the actual pattern for it. So we can do a sticky piston. Okay, that, there's our pattern for sticky pistons. I'll make one for pistons, and you get the idea. So let's come in here, and we're going to put these in here like that. So now if we need to, say, craft up a sticky piston, you see how it says craft? That means there aren't any in my system. If we were to look at what were the other things we did? We said diamonds. Okay, I don't have diamonds in there. Let's look at emeralds. I don't have any emeralds in the system either. But if I had items actually in the system, then they would, you wouldn't see the craft portion of it. So like we can do, change our view here to stored craftable, stored items only, or just craftable items here. So let's say we want to make a sticky piston. We just right click on that. We say how many we want. I'm going to say 1. Click next. Okay, it's going to automatically select the CPU. We can change that if we need to. Here's where the memory for that is. It's 5,120 bytes. It has 3 coprocessors in it. This particular crafting is going to take 36 bytes to do it. So that's 1 piston, 1 slime ball. We'll craft 1 sticky piston. So let's hit start. And then if we come in here, we can look at sticky pistons. Sticky pistons, and we have 1 in the system. So we can toss that back in there, and you can see how that works. So we've just automated several different things. So I've got several more that I want to do. I do want to go through and set up patterns for the things that we're using the most, such as the different metals and things like that. And then we'll get into some of the more advanced automations that we'll need to do to get this thing going pretty good. Well, that's it for this episode. I know it's kind of short, but we did manage to get quite a bit done. We did get our Autocrafting set up and running, so that's a major plus for us. So until next time, this is Desert Rat. Have a good one. Goodbye.